Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United at the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United from the National League are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It is the Sutton Podcast in association with Lucky Star Gin. If you're a regular listener, thank you very much for your time. If you're a new listener, you're very, very welcome. I'm Mike, your host, and with me today we have the return of the Nick. No, that didn't work quite the same as the song, but we've got Nick coming back. We love hearing from you. Join the conversation. Stay connected. Give us an Sutton Podcast on all socials. Give us the retweets, likes, all the other stuff that boosts the ego. You know I need it. You know I'm a drama queen. I need all that. Nick, can't remember what was it after the Carlisle game you were last on?
Yeah.
So you have a win and a draw so far.
Yeah. My hope is that I would be talismanic on as far as this podcast and our relationship to our results goes, but
4 points from 6 isn't bad.
it's not bad. Yeah.
But how have you been?
I've been well, thank you, Mike. Yeah,
Good,
I've been
good.
well. We're here in Los Angeles,
Absolutely.
as you know.
11-ish then? 10 o'clock?
It's coming up on. It's just gone 10, I think.
AM.
It's just gone
AM.
10. Yeah, AM. Yeah, we're 8 hours behind.
Okay. Lovely. That's fine. What time do you get up and watch the game then?
My Saturday routine. My Saturday routine is usually to get up for 6, check the lineup, and the games kick off at 7, and so they're usually done by about 9 o'clock. So you've got the rest of the day to sort of revel or bemoan what's happened to you. So,
okay, we won't talk about we'll talk about the songs for the rest of the day. So I didn't set you a knowing me, knowing you question, and I'm not going to drop you in it. But one of the questions I often ask people is, where is the strangest place you've got to speak about Sutton United? So I'll give you a couple of seconds because obviously you might have slightly different places than we would have, and we'll do the jingle while you quickly rack your brains. So, while you're out and about in LA, have you actually got to speak to different people about Sutton United, or is it a dark secret you don't talk about?
So the question was, what's the strangest place I've ever? I suppose being in Los Angeles. I mean, look, LA, by the way, it's a football. The city's got a big sports identity, and football's more and more part of that. It's got 2 big teams. City's gearing up for the World Cup. Huge. I mean, I play football here. I mean, it's like the United, huge. I remember Aaron saying about playing football in the US when you interviewed him that you got all these different cultures. So football, people are always asking me, who's your team? And I always have to say, right, it's called Sutton United. We're called Sutton United. We're in the 5th tier, and of course in NFL and NBA, you don't have demotions.
Yeah.
And so I have to say, okay, so we could go. And I always reference, I say, well, we were in Wrexham's division a few seasons ago. Is that TV show big in? Because it's fairly, yeah. So I suppose answer to your question is pretty much everyone that I speak to and bump into in LA, when the conversation goes to football, I always have to sort of give the know-how. I always sort of have to fill them in on who we are.
Yep.
I'll occasionally meet a British person and they'll say, well, where were you when you beat Coventry? And I'll say, well, I was in year 1 of school.
Yeah, it's getting older and older, isn't it?
Yeah. And but yeah, no. So I'm doing my bit to spread awareness of the club here.
Well, we used to have that a lot here, it was always followed up with who, and then you had to explain who it was. But now, obviously, with everyone having so many smartphones and so much more knowledge about football in general, partly because of the games that the kids play, just there's so much more knowledge about football. We're talking about players that we could sign. I'm like, I've never heard of. I mean, using me as an example is not great because I barely hear of anyone. But yeah, the knowledge is great. But I love that. Who? Right. Let me explain. Let me do. If we were to win every game for 5 years, then
Yeah.
so there were. I didn't pick up on any specific club news. I mean, the ladies are playing now, or they may have just finished. I find that out in a moment. I was in the hospitality yesterday and I got to speak to Barry Laker, talk about his time at Sutton United. But I have to say the most interesting thing I've had. No offence to Barry and his playing days. He is in charge of London Childline. So the old 0800 111 adverts. He is actually kind of in charge of that in London. So I thought that was fascinating. I didn't dive into it because I could see everyone's eyes glazing over because they only want to talk about Sutton United. But it was good. Oh, the ladies won 2-1. Excellent. And that was 47 minutes ago. So I should have known that. But they won 2-1. So well done, ladies. On to yesterday, I'm afraid. Actually, we've got a draw. So heading into the game, you mentioned the lineup. What were your expectations going into the game, and what were your thoughts on the lineup?
I was anticipating Mo Dabra being put straight back in because he'd had a very good game when we won against Carlisle. And so I was slightly surprised that he wasn't included. But John's obviously got his methods. I was slightly surprised that both Ashley and Brandon were starting. Is that the first time that they both started?
No, I think he went. I think he might have. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he went for a 4-4-2.
Yeah. So he went 4-4-2, and I thought, okay, that's good. However, I liked us having one of them on the bench so that if we were, if a striker tired, then you could bring somebody off and sort of be that impact player. And I was thinking, well, who have we got to bring off the bench and replace either of those two if they need to? And of course, that was, I dare say, we'll talk about that later on. Switch to 4-4-2. I think that's what a lot of people have kind of been looking for. I think it's working. It's working more than the sort of 3-5-2 that Steve liked. But other than that, I don't think that there were any real surprises in that. I think Liam Vincent might have been a notable absentee. Hang on, have I got that one right? He didn't start, did he?
No, I think Noah started.
No, that's right. Yeah, no, but who had a good game, I thought. Yeah, but maybe Liam. Slightly surprising to see him out, but by and large, no, it was pretty much as it hadn't changed a great. Oh no, hang on. How many changes were there from Wednesday against?
Don't ask me these questions. So we had
Tuesday, rather.
We had Jack in goal with Will, Jack Taylor, Eden, then Aaron, Charlie, Lewis, Jaden, Nana, Ninjoku, and Nadders. So yeah, Vincent was on the bench. I don't think he didn't come on. I don't think, but there was at least one change there. I can't remember what happened this morning, let alone last week. But what were your expectations? Were you, especially after the Worthing game, Woking game, were you expecting to come into this and we should be picking up the 3 points, or were you thinking, look, as long as we don't lose, we're getting there, we're moving along?
I think I predicted 1-1 on the didn't I? I didn't get the score right. I can't remember. I predicted to score it. I thought we're going to draw. We haven't done very well. We lost twice against Boston. I got up actually to the game up at their place. I was over. Got up to Lincolnshire for that one. We weren't that great against them twice last season. I think they won midweek as well, so they were coming off the back of a win. We were coming off the back of a creditable draw. So yeah, I thought 1-1. You know, I thought we might win, but I think the ship's being steadied. So 1-1
Yeah.
seems like it's the most obvious outcome, and sure enough, it was.
Well, I've just jotted down some notes. So don't, these are not in time order or anything, but we will talk about David's goal.
Yeah.
Firstly, cross or shot?
Oh, I think he was crossing that. Yeah, I think he was crossing.
It was a shot, David. I believe you. I believe you. So, do we think that was deserved, or do you think that might be just papering over some cracks on this game?
I thought it was deserved. They were really scrambled by the end of the game. I don't know if you saw Graham Coughlin's comments after the game. He actually said a lot of things that are very interesting, very honest as well. He said, "Yeah, they deserve to win that. If it had gone on for another 10 minutes, they would have won it as well." And so it was pretty scrambled. It was totally scrambled at the end. You know, legs are flying everywhere to try and sort of block things. And if you watch, I just watched back this morning the pitch side camera, and you know he's just like swung a leg out, basically desperately lunged at it. In that context of all of the pressure going that way, eventually something's gonna clip off of somebody, and in this case, just loop over the keeper. So yeah, I thought it was a bit of luck, but it's a cliche, but you do make your luck a lot of the time in football. So
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not sustainable, that kind of football, but all the tactics going out the window and just going, right, just go for it.
yeah.
And we seem to have had success with that. So maybe we should do that for the first 20 rather than the last 20 and get a couple goals. I don't know. That might be why I pay to watch football. So did you feel relieved or encouraged with the late goal? Because I mean, it's something we've suffered from, was conceding late goals, but we've scored a couple as well. But did you feel relieved or encouraged that, okay, we've stopped the rot, we can make this couple games into a turn?
I think both. I mean, it was a complete and utter relief for it to go in. I mean, I've got to look now. The three games that we've had. I mean, you know, Altrincham was dire. I mean, it was absolutely dire. I mean, it's hard because, you know, I got up at 4:30 in the morning here to watch arguably the worst performance I've seen maybe since Stockport, and everything. If there's another game, then let me know. We were at rock bottom. Woking, we were good. We were really good. Should have had a penalty then. Maybe we were lucky to get a draw because Jack saved their penalty. We got a draw there yesterday. I mean, we should have won that. So the performances they are over the past three games anyway on an upward trajectory. And if you look back over the game, I mean, they had one shot on goal, or on target, or did that? Maybe there was a second one. Maybe there was a second save that Jack made. But one shot on goal. I mean, it was a very good free kick. But you know, we dominated. The coach and the player that scored the goal, name escapes me. They both said, "No, that's a good side. This is a hard place to come and play football." So yeah, relief and optimism, or guarded optimism.
Got it. Okay. Well, firstly, I didn't tell any of the players. We saw them yesterday, but I didn't tell them. But I'm going to take some responsibility because I kind of looked up at the clock and went, "Oh, half an hour. We've not given away a penalty. You conceded a goal," and then seconds later, we conceded that free kick. On the free kick, I don't know if they showed any replays because I can't ever remember if they show replays or not. But I did have a chat with someone in the bar about the challenge for the free kick, and it's been mentioned by a couple of people saying, okay, I don't think the ref had an influence in the outcome of the game, but as an example, that was the worst challenge, and there was 9 bookings in the game or something like that, and the worst challenge, which is the one that we gave away the free kick, wasn't punished. What did you think of that challenge?
It's interesting because I watched the pitch side and this morning, like I say, and he doesn't blow up immediately, does he? He actually lets it on for a little bit, like as he's almost trying to play an advantage there. And if it was really severe, he would have blown up surely there and then, I'd have thought. Difficult, difficult from both camera angles that
Yeah.
you're looking at it to see. I mean, it was rash. I didn't think it was a red. I mean, unless anybody's got footage that shows that he's gone in with his studs up.
Well, Liam Vincent was pains to tell me because I said to one of the kids, "Oh, quick, get a picture with red card," and he was like, "Charlie's tackle was way worse than mine." He goes, "How was that not booked? How was he not even booked?" So
I was
yeah,
going to say,
he was like, "No, his was worse than my challenge."
yeah.
Harsh. But the free kick, was it a good free kick, or should we have set up better? I mean, there's a difference between us conceding it and them scoring it. I know it's a minor difference, but do you think there's any more we could have done, or was just got to hands up and say that was a great free kick?
I mean, I don't know. Is this one of the things that's gone out of fashion in football that you put men on the posts for stuff like that? I
It
mean, or
is,
is
yeah.
it is the expectation that the goalkeeper's going to have that covered? I mean, he hit it as well as he could have done, and he got it up and over, or over and then under the bar. So well taken free kick. Because it was so close, is Jack on-sighted because the wall's in the way? I don't know. I mean, the only thing that I think you could have done there is to put a man on the posts, on either post,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
probably would have stopped it from going in. But
Like you say,
hindsight,
that's gone a bit out of fashion with the trying to then keep everyone offside as well. I don't know why, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. But yeah, you're quite right. But you did make points that we had chances to win. I think Brandon hit the post,
yeah.
and a couple of great positions as well. We just couldn't find that cutting edge. Do you think that the two works, those two work in particular, or um, would we be looking for a big fella to knock it down to the little fella?
Harry Smith, say,
Yeah.
yeah,
We're going to go 4-4-2. Are we going to get a joy?
yeah. Two strikers on the pitch and neither of them score is. I mean, with Brandon's chance. Oh, initially I thought it's coming at him so quickly. Like, is there such zip on it that has he got time to react? Because you put that on goal, either side of the keeper, and it's going to take a heck of a save to stop that. Looking at the replays, oh, it's when I was on, we were talking about Ashley Addison's. He missed a sitter. I think that was a sitter. I mean, I think Brandon's probably looking at that back and thinking, I should have scored that. But I think he's really good. I think if we're going to make something in this division, he's going to be really vital. Ashley, I just think his confidence is just shot to pieces. There was a clip in the second half there's a bit in the second half when the ball comes over, and he took it on the volley, and I think a striker that was at his tails, he'd had to just put that on goal and said, "Look, I'm going to take a swing at this." But he puts it back into the danger area. I don't know whether that's a sign of that his confidence is just not up at the moment. I'd like to see them playing together. I mean, do we have like a big target man player?
We've got some of those defenders we can use,
Yeah,
but
stick Edon up front
yeah,
and sort of,
yeah, get Jack Taylor up there. He's a giant.
yeah, yeah. So, but no, I like, I'm sort of, we're of a certain age, dare I say, where 4-4-2 was what you did, wasn't it? So I like the I like the two strikers. If
Yeah,
they can start to link up, they're both talented,
yeah,
very talented football players.
yeah.
And
It's one of those that should work because
yeah,
um, they're both good players and they should both be able to do the two jobs, one forward, one slightly dropping
yeah,
back a little bit. I just think it needs time, as you say, confidence. The only way of getting confidence is by doing these things, and unfortunately, it's natural. So not moaning at anyone. As soon as a player makes a mistake, the groan goes around.
yeah,
Split second, because you are disappointed, and the player is also disappointed. But that is where people start thinking, well, I don't want to do it. So when I spoke to Josh Coley a couple of years ago now, he said the problem is when you're not confident, you want someone else to make the mistake. You don't want the responsibility of
yeah,
doing it.
yeah, yeah,
And that is possibly what's happening. I'm not saying I know an insight into his brain, but that's possibly where he's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
not going to get this. I'm not in the right frame.
Yeah,
Go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, we should also say it's really easy for us where we're sat, you know, to say that, it's so hard because
100%.
the hardest thing to do in a game of football is to score a goal. So, you know, because everybody's trying to stop you, or 11 men are trying to stop you from doing it. So we should just acknowledge the strikers for
100%. As I said earlier, I pay to watch football, so that tells you a couple of times I've played on that kind of grip. Well, I say played in a very loose term. I put on a shirt and kind of walked around a bit. But the thing that really got me is I'm sort of sitting there and the ball was ahead of me, and I just sort of looked at it and went, if I was on the sidelines, I'd be screaming at someone to make up that space, and it's miles away. I can't possibly get up there.
Yeah.
And it's like, but on the sidelines, I would have been saying, "Someone run, move it." And it's like it's mad. And the speed of thought is just, But by the time I've realised the ball is coming to me, those players have already decided how they're going to get it, what they're going to do with it, looking around, and I'm like, "Oh, look, the ball's on its way to me." Da, 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 da. So yeah, you're quite right. Do you think that obviously the substitutions had an impact, as you said? Do we think that potentially we were a bit cautious from the start, or do you think we need that at the moment where we just have to keep it tight and then go for it towards the end of the game?
Who did we bring on? So it's got a
So,
David Bonner,
yeah,
Dylan,
Dylan and Suji and
Suji, yeah.
Oh, Mo, but he's not. He's more of a defensive.
Yeah. No, I mean it was a different game entirely in the second half. I mean they were willing to just sit back. They're ruined probably the fact that they did sit back and didn't go for the second goal.
Yep.
And they kind of invited us, and I think John basically said, right, we can have this because so threw on another attacker. I thought they were very good. Poor Dylan, slipped not once but twice. I think it's because it looked quite slick.
It was,
didn't it? But he was. I thought he was really good. I was excited every time that he got the ball on the left hand side there, and they realised that was a potential outlet for him. So good to see him. Actually, I thought he was bright when he came on. Hopefully, he came away from yesterday's game with his tail up. You know, he's going to be important as well. He's a good player. It would be interesting. Like I said before, that I think the priority might be let's steady the ship. You know, let's not do anything silly. Let's not give the other team a 2-goal start and chase the game, a la Tadworth the other day, and then go for it in the second half. So yeah, it did well. I mean, okay, Brandon had he hit the post, and Charlie, that was a difficult chance. You could see what he was trying to do. But when you got bodies in front of you, you kind of got to go for the height, and you've only therefore got that much space to hit, really, haven't you? So it's either going to hit a body or go. So, but we were all right in the first half. We went in, and I was like, "This is not disastrous. This is, we're in this well and truly." So yeah.
So unbeaten in 2. Have we stopped the rot, or do we need to get that win? We've got Yeovil on Tuesday. Is there signs that we're getting better? I mean, I rather stupidly in hindsight pointed out it's going to be a super September, and I've got like one game left for this to come true.
Yeah.
But how do you feel we are momentum wise? Do you think we're getting there, or are we still stuttering?
I'd like to think that we are. Two creditable draws, one in which we probably we should have won it. Look at John Meany. I think John Meany's reaction, if you saw after the game yesterday, he was really disappointed that the final whistle was blown. He wanted more time because so if that mindset can be carried into Tuesday's game, is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday.
I think it's Tuesday.
Oh, I hope
that can be carried into Tuesday, midweek. Yeah. I think I don't know. Should we do predictions now for the game?
If you like.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to.
Well, your question is like has the rot been stopped? I think so. Look, I mean,
Yeah.
what we've conceded 3 goals in 3 games.
Mhm.
I count at least 3 games where we've conceded at least 3 goals. So we're more and more difficult to break down. Now it's a question of, getting a little bit more firepower up. Getting the ball in the other net, in the net at the other end. So we'll see. And we've got to remember that, fingers crossed. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe maybe John might get the job full time. But we got a new manager hopefully to come in soon.
Mhm.
We might get that bounce, that
Yep.
supposed bounce that usually happens, and so that's reasons for optimism as well. But I think that we're through what was a very difficult patch.
Yeah.
Um,
So we'll kind of skipped over the whole management thing because I haven't actually asked you your thoughts on it. But let's go ahead to predictions.
Yeah.
So it is Tuesday. I've just checked that. So
It was,
against Yeovil, no pressure on you whatsoever. But are you aware you had 6 points from in the last 2 games, so 12 points in total,
I
and
am
you are
aware.
now second spot, 1
Lost.
point behind Google AI. So you're
Right.
kind of carrying the human charge at the moment.
All right. Yeah.
Now you
No
can
pressure.
change your prediction. This is obviously a day or two before it. So if you say it now, you don't feel like that's what you have to put for your prediction when you enter. But what's your
Yeah.
early thoughts?
We played them at was it the penultimate game of last season? Or was it the back end of last season, wasn't it? At their place. We won 2-1.
Stop asking me questions. You know I don't know how to answer them.
And we were it's more or less, well, obviously we got new players in, but Will Davis he played that game, but he was kind of not really in it. Perhaps he was already heading out the door. So
His
it's
heart
almost like
was
that. It's almost like that we won there against them. Sidgey got a goal. Lewis he's got a banger actually, didn't he? So our team went there. The team that we got now went there and won 2-1, and now we're playing them on the back of a decent draw that we should have won. I think we're probably going to win. I think I'm going to go for 2-1,
okay.
and I'm going to have Ashley Nadesan score at least one of the goals. Don't ask me if it's the first or the second. So 2-1. There you go.
2-1. Excellent. Well, I've gone 2-0 with JT scoring. I don't know why, but I feel like we need to score a set piece goal, so I'm going to go with Jack. And AI also went for 2-1. Now,
Which one? Which model?
it's Google Gemini. All of it's Google Gemini because
Right. Yeah.
I can't be bothered changing it up. But it's gone. I'm going to say with Lewis Simper to score.
Yeah.
However, it firstly went for Omar Bagil to score. And then when I said, yeah, he left us in 2022, so I'm not sure how he's going to score. I went, oh, my apologies, Josh Coley.
I was going to
Okay,
say,
he left us. Yeah.
Is he back at Yeovil now? Or was that?
So it's like, hang on a minute. How is this AI top of the league?
Yeah.
Awful. But anyway, it's gone for 2-1, and eventually he's chosen Lewis Simper for the goal. So we will see what happens. But yeah, everyone, go on.
If you go to Google, what's the other one? ChatGPT, and if you type in Sutton prediction versus Yeovil, it will bring up Chris Sutton on the BBC from 2021 or something like that. So yeah, make sure if you do this, you're going for Sutton United.
And also don't do the free versions because they give you rubbish. The paid for versions don't give you much better, but at least you can engineer your prompts. So I didn't ask you to start, but we'll ask it now before we finish up. It's been a while, and obviously you could say, well, why are they still talking about it? That was weeks ago, but no new manager yet. So what were your thoughts on Steve leaving us last week, Wednesday, 10 days ago or so?
It was was it the Tuesday or the Wednesday after the Brighton game, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, look, I think what's the name of the lad that you had for the Woking game? Was it Joe?
Joe.
Yeah. I think I was listening to that episode and I thought, yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that's said here. I met Steve on one occasion. I came down to an event that the club had put on. He was an extremely decent bloke. I mean, I asked him to record something because, of course, my wife and my daughter are woken up, get right pissed off on a Saturday morning because of the noise. And I said, Steve, could you just like record an apology, like for like, you know, take the. He picked it up, did it. You know, really nice bloke. You could tell that he's. I got the impression, you know, hardworking. I was really sorry to see him go, but it did have an air of inevitability about it, and I wish him well. I mean, you know, I used to really enjoy his you know, his pep talks before the game. I think he knows a lot about the game. I think I got the impression sometimes that he would overcomplicate or overthink stuff, and it wasn't always, you know, sometimes you just got to do the basics, really, haven't you? So it was a mixture of like sadness and relief as well, because I think he had the air of like somebody that like just he'd reached the end of his run with us. But I hope he stays in football, and I hope he has all the success. I got into some minor spat with somebody on Twitter, somebody from Cardiff. He seems to he seems to rub certain people up the wrong way. He might enjoy that, but maybe I was chatting with a bot. I don't know, but you know, I thought, come on,
He's a
yeah,
definite Millwall sort of
yeah,
product with the nobody likes us, don't care.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think, and rightly or wrongly, there's certain things you can go, no, Steve, maybe a breath on that occasion and thinking about it would have been better. But yeah, he does bite back, and
yeah,
sometimes people aren't used to people biting back. They're like, "Whoa, you're not allowed to do that." It's like, why not? You can't stand there abusing someone and not expect them to do it back. But I also get the other side where okay, maybe that's not the best idea. You want everyone on side. Um, yeah, I mean, you're quite right. If you go back and watch the interviews, um, you can see he's kind of lost for what to do. We're working hard. We're doing everything we can.
yeah,
And
yeah.
someone did say, in fairness, well, if we're working hard and doing everything we can and it's not enough, maybe something has to change. And Dan
Yeah,
from Pandemonium says it's always cheaper to change one manager than it is to change 20
of
players.
course. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
do you have any thought speculation for someone new or not? I don't. People keep asking. They're convinced I know things about it, and it's like I can't keep a secret, and also I forget things. I'm like a goldfish, so I forget things. So I don't have any news. I suspect something was happening yesterday, but it could
Mm.
be completely wrong. But I don't have any news at all. But what do you have any wild speculation of who's going to be available? I mean, Graham Potter has left his role. Who knows?
Is Frank
Unlikely.
Lampard in a job? Anyway?
Yeah, he's at Coventry.
Oh, he's at Coventry, isn't
He's
he? Yeah,
doing well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
John Terry
So,
isn't.
I mean, I'll take JT. You know, no, maybe not. All right. I've seen the name Adam Hinshelwood floating around at York City. I don't know. It occurred to me yesterday that, you know, let's say, and this is purely speculation on my part, but if somebody's had an offer put to them and they're mulling it over, thinking it over, did they watch yesterday's game and think to themselves, these are players that I can work with. I can do something with this squad. There's hunger there. There's talent there. So maybe, I don't know. I could be. This could be more from hope than information. Obviously, it's not from information. I don't have any. But if that's the case, I don't think yesterday would have done the cause any harm at all. So we shall see. I don't know. I, I don't know. Yeah, Graham. If we know you probably listen. You know, we'd love to have you. You know.
I did. I can't remember who I was talking to, but I did kind of cheeky chuck out Sabrina yesterday, the England lady. I went, "Oh, what about that?" And I thought they were
Yeah.
going to go, start, "Ugh," and I went, and they went, "That would be brilliant." I was making it up. I'm just joking. Just don't believe a word I say. It's just a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully. I mean, it sounds harsh, but I think we need something. Whatever happens, sooner rather than later. I
Yeah.
I believe John is still for the Oval game. I'm obviously not sure of his status if and when anything happens, whether he wants the job, whether he's in consideration for it. I have no idea. I've not spoken to him. I deliberately kind of back off from that. Yeah, I hope a decision is made sooner rather than later, which then allows people to then move on and make plans and make decisions, because the longer it sort of hangs around this void, it's not good for anyone. Right, we jumped all over the place and I've lost where my thread is, but I think we're done. We're going to wrap up this episode of Sutton Podcast. As always, we appreciate everyone's attention and feedback. I'm a bit gutted that Joe isn't going to be around to roll his eyes for a little while now. So obviously, as I said, if anyone wants to fill the void, give us a message and we can get you on the podcast. It's not difficult, is it, Nick?
No, it's not at all.
It's easy. Yeah, you know,
very good way to spend your Sunday.
Do give us a follow, like, share this episode on socials at Sutton Podcast. Put that thumbs up on YouTube. You know I love it. But we're going to wrap up. As I say, as always, thank you to our sponsors, Lucky Star Gin. Big thank you to Nick for going solo today. And thanks to everyone for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, and we will catch up soon. Bye-bye. United!